Tracy. Welcome to Bobo Stitching Quilts. How are you doing? It's welcome to Flosstube number 6. And today is Monday. It's Labor Day here in the United States. And if you are celebrating, take a moment to remember all of those essential workers that are out there keeping society going. A lot of them are still working today. And, you know, as with many things, I think that exists in any society that's moving forward, there's probably some work that we could do to help some folks out. So hopefully as you are enjoying your day off or in family time or whatever it is that you're doing, I hope you are keeping in mind the intention behind the day, which is, well, celebration of those who labor for us. So it's been a few weeks. I had like a week. I did all those boom, boom, boom videos, 3 in a row, and which was a lot for me because I don't feel like I do that much stuff that really requires us to have that many videos. And so, so I took a break, mostly to kind of just get back on the regular schedule, so to speak. And so it's the first weekend of September, and my goal is to film these on the first and the third weekends of each month, and which aren't quite monthly updates in general, but today is going to kind of serve as that. So life updates, not much. Same. Continue to work from home. I took a couple of days off this past weekend to kind of maximize my Labor Day, but I was just hanging out at home. Spent most of the time stitching, so you'll see all those updates. I did clean. I was able to find some cleaner. Was able to clean. I don't know where y'all are and what's happening. I have a hard time finding cleaner. So no one send me cleaner. I was able to, basically, we can find cleaner. We found some cleaner, but we had to buy like the giant, like industrial, like size that's going to last us for, you know, many years of cleaning. So we were able to find some, but it was kind of funny, like normal size bottles and stuff like that was impossible to find. So, but probably more environmentally friendly because we're now using, you know, a reusable spray bottle and that kind of stuff. Anyways, so, but otherwise, not much of a life update. So, so with that, you know, let's just get to some stitching. I did a lot in August. I'm really actually kind of surprised by it. I guess that because when I was pulling everything together, I was kind of like, huh, like what was I doing? Oh, nothing. I was just stitching. So, so I got a lot done in August, and it could also very well be that because I was kind of like, you know, not making videos, so I wasn't. So maybe it feels like there's been a whole lot more done than really not. So, anyways, I'm going to show you all of everything that I did in August and in this first part of September, and this is going to effectively be a WIP parade because this is essentially almost everything that I'm working on that I have in progress, except for one. I have one project somewhere in my craft room that is right now a UFO. It's my oldest WIP, but I haven't touched it in a good decade, if I was to guess. Maybe not that long. 6 years. Probably about 6 years since I've touched it. So I put it into the UFO category because it's not really a WIP. Maybe one day it'll get back into it. But anyways, but so that's it. I'm going to give a review at the end of the video, but I did want to say that I did spend this weekend from Friday through Sunday doing the Black Needle Society's retreat preview that they hosted in their new Facebook group this weekend. And so a lot of my progress on some of these was because I was doing work. So I was working on the challenges that was in the retreat. So, but I'm going to show you one haul. I only have one haul to show you, which is that y'all should know something about me. This is a full confession to you, to the world. I am a weird kind of a nerd. I'm a nerd. I'm gonna let my geek flag fly. I'm not. There's no point pretending that I'm not a nerd. But I'm like a weird nerd in that I don't like. I don't fan out for like whole things, right? Like I like things and I like pockets in things, if that makes sense, right? So I love Disney, like probably most people. I am a big Disney fan, but within the Disney world, there's certain things that I like. So y'all already know, if you've watched this videos before, that if you're new, you're about to learn this about me. Like my favorite princess is Cinderella, but so my Disney princess is Cinderella, but I also love the storyline and the character and the way that she has grown as a character, the way other people have kind of like identified her. And so I like Cinderella, but I also like Ever After. I love the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. I can't wait for Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cinderella to come out. So things like that. So like I nerd out around that, and you're gonna see some of this in my cross stitching. Like I like anime. I like but certain things within anime. And but we'll going back to Disney, because you already know about Cinderella. My favorite thing about Disney is the land. And I call it the land of the mouse with love. I love Disneyland. Nothing against Disney World. Disney World's fine. But there's something about the land. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's smaller than the world is. It's more cozy. I don't know. But I love the land. And I did try. I did think about, like, could I move to Southern California just so I could go to Disneyland anytime I wanted? And, cause y'all, for those who are new, I'm an attorney, and, I've taken one bar. That's it. I'm not taking another bar exam. So, like, what was I going to do in California? I don't know. I couldn't work. So, something else, I guess. Could have gone to work at Disneyland. But my favorite thing at Disneyland is Disney's land version of It's a Small World. Now, if you've been to both the world and the land, you must realize that the one at the land is so much better. It's got its own house. It's like the figures. I don't know what they're called. But anyways, they're it's so much better. Like, it's just a better ride than the one in the world. And we went for our Disney Moon. My husband and I are about to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, and so a bucket list of mine was to go do the Not So Scary Halloween over Halloween. So we postponed our honeymoon for a month, and we did a Disney Moon over Halloween in Disney World. And I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed in It's a Small World. Like, I was just sad. I don't know. Just sad. Anyways, if you've never been to the land and you're just gauging It's a Small World based on what you saw at the world, it's so much better at the land. Do yourself a favor. Budget up for it. Go to California. Go to It's a Small World. With that, I got this mug. It's like the alphabet for Disney parks, and it's I for It's a Small World. I just love it so much. Anyways, this is like another mug. There was a celebration for Mary Blair, who's the artist that designed everything for It's a Small World. I want to say about 5 years ago. I don't remember what anniversary it was, but it was a celebration of Mary Blair, and they had a whole teapot set and plate set and everything like that. And I own that too. Maybe I'll show you that in the next video. Maybe I'll pull that teapot set out for that video. But on my wish list to purchase her patterns is the Satsuma Street, the Mary Blair inspired pattern for It's a Small World. But if you know of really good It's a Small World patterns, comment down below, because I'm going to look for those. I love the one that is for Haunted House. Good Morning Maui? Is that right? Is that the right one? Good Morning Maui's one where they kind of cutesified the Haunted Mansion, like the panels. I think that's so cute. I like Haunted Mansion. Not my favorite ride. It's a Small World is. So I love to see something like that, that like takes the characters, the different worlds and stuff like that. So anyways, I'm gonna drink tea today just so I can show you my mug. All right, with that, let's get to some stitching. So I got a lot of projects done. So my first thing is that so September, there's so many things for September. There's so many like things you could do. So there's like sampler, September. I don't have a lot of samplers. I have a sampler. I guess 2 if you count Emily's house. But so I'm not gonna really participate in sampler September. But there's like, I've seen 2 things. So there is like start all the stuff. I don't think they use stuff. They use the ones with like symbols and the words. And this was in virtual stitchers that they were like, this was coming out of that. But I've also seen like Startember and stuff like that. So I guess if you did not get enough starts during March Madness or Stitch Mania or all these other months that give you excuses to start lots of things, there's Startember. So I did have a lot of starts this past week. And also, I guess in August. But I am now working on, so I did a little baby start for Office Window. Sorry, let me grab my oops. Cocohamas did a video on how to make floss tubes, and she says, stop apologizing. So no more apologies. I'm grabbing my notebook so I can tell you what's happening. I started Office Window, which is a Frank Lloyd Wright inspired cross stitch pattern. And I'm going to insert a picture right now on what it will look like when it's done. And I have this super baby start. I did a row. I just did a little row. And that's it. So it's on 28 count even weave. The called for fabrics that came in the kit is DMC and Kreinik. It's actually a really great kit. Like the quality of the fabric, obviously DMC floss, Kreinik floss. I do have a link in the body of where you can find it. It is by Heartland House Designs. I'm not sure where else you can get it, but we purchased it. So my husband and I are weird Frank Lloyd Wright fans. I don't know if it's weird. There's a lot of people who are fans. We're not like architecture fans. Like, don't talk to us about architecture. But we like Frank Lloyd Wright's houses. Like, we think those are neat. So one of our very first vacations we took was to Falling Water. And so we did a vacation a couple years ago. Time merges. To Niagara Falls, and we went to Buffalo. And while we were in Buffalo, we went to Grey Cliff. This is where I purchased the kit, because Grey Cliff is not, if I'm remembering correctly, if I'm wrong, someone correct me in the comments, but I think Grey Cliff is not part of the whole foundation. Like, it's its own independent, I think it's its own independent own nonprofit preserving the home. And so we wanted to, at the time they were still very much at the beginning of their renovation, and so we wanted to support them, and there was cross stitch pattern, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna make this cross stitch pattern. So that's where it is. Just so that you know what it means. It was designed by Heartland House Designs for the Frank Lloyd Wright home and studio. It's an adaptation of an art glass window of his business office in his Oak Park architectural studios, and it's a variation of a skylight design in the studio's reception room. So anyways, there's no real rhyme or reason why I decided to start it. We were supposed to go on vacation this year to Wisconsin. Actually, I guess just Wisconsin. We were going to go to Chicago too, but we were going to do the Frank Lloyd Wright tour of Wisconsin and Chicago. So that was going to be our trip this year. So basically every 3 years we've gone. So it must have been about 3 years ago. We were in Niagara Falls and Buffalo. About every 3 years we were going on a trip to go see Frank Lloyd Wright things. And so we intended to go this year. Didn't happen because of COVID. So anyway, so I guess this is my homage to try to do something Frank Lloyd Wright while, where we weren't able to go. So anyways, so that's that little baby start. Next up is Winter Carriage Ride by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture here of what it will look like when it's done. Boop. Okay, and this is where I am. Not much. A house and some. So this was a little baby start that I did for the Black Needle Society for their Christmas Winter Challenge, and so that's as far as I got. I am doing this as the kit has as I purchased from the Frosted Pumpkin. So it's on 14 count AIDA Picture Disc Plus Oaken. It's called for DMC, and so yeah, I started this on September 1st. In anticipation. So this was actually a gift that I received from one of my best friends, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. And a few years ago, and I feel guilty that I haven't gotten around to it till now. But it's super cute, and it looks like it's gonna be pretty fast going. So I'm not gonna make it like a focus piece, but I'm probably gonna work on it for 1 or 2 weekends in September, because I think I might be able to get this done pretty fast. So yeah. So that's the other one that I did. So, yeah. Super cute. Has all the Frosted Pumpkin stuff for you. Right? Super cute. Right. That's a start number 2. What? Alright. Here comes start number 3. Now this one I actually started this weekend. September 5th. Which was, what? 2 days ago? Today's 7th. I know it's Labor Day. What's the date? 7th. So, and so I am working on Liberty Quaker, also known as Nuts About America, by Luminous Fiber Arts. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the picture here of what it will look like when it's done. Boop, boop. All right. And here, let me get this right because it's going to look like the wrong way. And this is where I am. So I started, I usually start in the middle. I'm a middle starter for most things, but in this particular case, I started in the corner because the fabric that I purchased is bigger than the pattern is. So, so I wanted to start in the corner so that way I sometimes cut my fabric to fit the project, and but I did that recently for another one, and I'm so nervous that I might have cut it a little small. So when I started this one, I was like, well, I don't have a need for the rest of the fabric, so I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it on the big piece. So anyways, so there it is. So that's where I am. I'm doing this on, I am not doing on the called for fabric because I did not get it, but it is on 32 count Belfast linen from Lakeside Linen, and the color is Mount Baker Blue. It's actually really beautiful. It's a really beautiful, I'm trying to see, are you getting the color of it? It's really pretty. It's a really pale blue, like a really nice, beautiful sky. In the mountains, I guess. I guess that's why it's called Mount Baker Blue. And so the flosses are going to be Weeks Dyes, Colorworks, and DMC. And I'm doing mostly the called for. I wasn't able to find one of the colors, which was linen, so I substituted that. I didn't substitute that. My LNS substituted that with oatmeal, and I think it's going to be fine. But you'll see in the progress. My plans for that, just so that y'all are kind of aware, I don't think I'm going to work on it on a big, steady kind of pace. My intention was to start it on Veterans Day, which was in November, and but I went ahead and started it because of the retreat, so I would have a project I could work on for the challenge. And so my thought process on it is that actually was pretty fast. That's what I did in about an hour and a half worth of stitching. So, and I think it will stitch pretty quickly once I get past the solid colors. And so I think I'm going to pull it out for like patriotic days. That's what I'm thinking. I was going to start it on Veterans Day. And so I think I'm going to, probably the next time I pull it out, next time you'll see an update from it, will probably be Veterans Day. Like the November update, right? So I'll probably pull that on Veterans Day and whatever patriotic days I can think of, right? I think in December it is Pearl Harbor Day. Not really Patriotic Day, but you kind of remember Pearl Harbor. Things like that. Not Columbus Day, because we don't celebrate Columbus Day. We do Native Indigenous People Day. So that is not a day that I will be celebrating with that cross stitch. So anyways, that's what I'm going to think of. I'm going to kind of look at my calendar, find some dates, and kind of pull through it. But regardless, I'll probably make it a focus piece either next May or probably next May. So that way I can have it finished before July 4th. So I can get it fully finished before July 4th and have it out for display and things like that. Anyways, I love the pattern. I love the cute squirrel with his nuts. Like, it's just kind of, I don't really do patriotics, but that one really spoke to me because it's funny. And I like cutesy things. Just in case you didn't notice. All right, my last start number 4. I don't know. I think it's Flosstube. I'm gonna blame you, Flosstube, enabling me to do all of this cross stitching and starting projects, because I buy them and I want to start them. So why not? Right? So this is flip it down. I keep calling this the wrong thing. So the next thing I am working on is Sailor Moon Squad. I will refer to this as Scalar Scouts. I will refer to it as Scalar Squad. I will refer to it as Sailor Moon. Like, whatever. Anyways, so that's what I'm working on. Inserting picture here of what it will look like when it's done. Alright, isn't that exciting? Oh man. Okay, confession again. I'm just gonna let my geek wave fly. Sailor Moon came out, I'm pretty sure, when I was in high school. Maybe I was a senior. It is quite possible I may have been in college already, but I'm pretty sure I was in high school. Like, I remember watching it coming home from school, so it had to be in high school. But I was not like a kid watching it. So I just like Sailor Moon. Always have, always will. Anyways, I love this because I think the pattern is such a grown-up version of Sailor Moon, and the women are so dynamic. And I always wanted, like, if you know anything about Sailor Moon, like, there's a season where they travel into the future and they never get to meet their future selves. I mean, you get to meet, like, Neo Queen Serenity, but you don't get to meet, like, any of the other Sailor Scouts when they're full-on adults and their power and stuff like that. And I really, I want to see that. Excuse me. And I feel like this pattern kind of shows them, has like these full-on, not young teenagers, but full-on women. Anyways, this is where I am. I am doing this on 25 count Lugana, which is what is the recommended called for fabric for the pattern. And this is my very first time stitching 1/1 on 25 count Lugana. Now, why does one choose to start doing 1/1 on Lugana for the very first time on a full coverage piece from Tilt and Crafts? I don't know. Apparently that's what I do. So this is like, my count is 858 stitches. That's what I got done in August. I started this in beginning of August. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not okay. But it's hard. This is not easy to do. I don't, in hindsight, I probably would not recommend anybody doing this for the first time on the giant piece. I'll get through it. I'm not worried about it. I'm a stickler, you know, college try kind of person. I also want to point out my needle minder, which I got from FanstitchTic in the UK. She also has a Flosstube. I'll link her below. Came pretty fast. Loved it. She also gave me like a DMC, like a little skein. I was like, oh, that's so nice. Anyways, that's my matching needle minder for that. I didn't tell you anything about it. The designer is Daniel Kordick. I think he goes by Del Caso, and it's for Tilton Crafts design. So I am super excited about it. By the way, 858 stitches is 0.70% of the entire progress. I am using Pattern Keeper. I have used Pattern Keeper before, but I usually print out the printed copies and stuff like that. So I'm trying to use Pattern Keeper for this to see how I like it. I usually print all my patterns. I usually fold them in half, put them in a corner with my needle minder, like, and highlight. I don't find using the computer, like a digital pattern. Like, I don't know why. I'm old. Anyways, but but I'm trying. I started trying to do the parking technique and stuff like that. I don't know if I like it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep trying because this channel is about trying new things, right? So I'm gonna keep trying, but my brain doesn't really like it. I want to be able to finish the thread, so I think I will continue to do my modified cross country, because that's what I kind of prefer. I've also discovered something about myself doing this. I apparently stitch differently. Maybe not. I'm kind of curious. So my crosses start when I'm doing this 1/1 full cross. My crosses start in the left-hand top corner, go down to the bottom right, and then I cross from the left. If I'm doing a row, then I go from the top right to the bottom left. If I'm doing the English style of stitching where I'm doing one at a time, then I usually go left, top to bottom right, bottom left. Then top, yeah. You know what I'm saying. Well, apparently, that may not be how a lot of people stitch. Makes me wonder if it's like a left-handed, right-handed thing. I'm not left-handed, but I do a lot of things when it comes to crafting like a left-hander. Like someone had told me that. It's like I do a lot of the way I hold things and the way I do things. Even though I'm not left-handed. Maybe you don't know. I am not left-handed. But my, I was like, well, I'm going to go watch some videos on how to stitch on even weave, especially on 101 with this Lugana and stuff like that. So I went ahead and did some video searchings, and it was basically kind of like tips on how to make sure that your stitch doesn't pop or move underneath the threads when you're doing it 1/1, which was news to me because I've never do 1/1. And like all the videos showed it the other way, the stitches going the other way, which is from the bottom left to the top right. And then the overstitch is from the bottom right to the top left. And that's not how I do it. And so I thought that was interesting, which also meant the videos that I was finding on how to prevent the moving stitch, my brain couldn't quite, I had to kind of like do switches of that because my brain wasn't quite figuring out how to do it. So I don't know. Since I watched that video, it must have been ingrained because I haven't had that many stitches move on me, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm really excited about this. I expect that this is probably going to take me forever. You will see I do when I do full coverage, I don't do full on gridding right off the bat. I do enough to make sure that my fabric is the right size and that I have enough of a border and everything like that. I am playing it, I am rolling the dice on this border. I'm hoping that it's enough. I really only have about 2 inches on each side. I'm planning on framing it when I do finish, so I think it'll be fine. But, and I'm, you know, it looks like I only did it across. I also did it through the bottom. I just took it out. And then I just kind of grid as I need it. I don't enjoy gridding. It's not fun, so I only do it as I go. When I need it. Alright, anyways, enough about sailor squats. Next is no face knitting. You've seen me work on this before. It's been a couple of months. I think the last time I showed an update was at the end of June or beginning of July. I didn't work on it at all for July or August, and I started picking this back up in September, which is only less than a week ago. But I kind of picked it up. I may have worked on it like on the last day of August or something like that. But I'm going to insert a picture. Those were all my new starts, by the way. So 4 new starts. That's it. I'm done. Everything now is something I've made progress on. So I'm going to insert a picture here now of what no face knitting will look like when it's done, and my progress the last time you saw it. Okay, and here we are. I did a ton on this. I actually haven't counted the stitches. I normally don't count the stitches, but I actually thought about maybe it might be worthwhile to count stitches so that you can get a sense of like what I've been doing. But yeah, so this is where I am. So since you saw it, I finished his top of his head on this page, and I did all of this blue. I started working on those little flowers, and then there's a couple of little stars there. So that's where I got on No Face Knitting. And so No Face Knitting, the designer is Harp Seal Cross Stitch on Etsy. I am doing this on 14 count AIDA, which will make this a giant piece at 13 by 13 when it's all said and done, the circle on it. And I'm using it with all of the called for DMC. And that's it. This is I'm planning on making this a gift for my niece, either for her birthday, which is in October, or Christmas, more likely. And but it actually is stitching pretty fast. It's nice blobs of color, right? Which is really good for TV stitching. I did all of this, by the way, during the Black Needle Society retreat. This piece fit a lot of the categories and the challenges, and so I was like, well, I got to work on it. I got to get some momentum built behind it, because it is a lot of color blobs, so it is kind of boring. Although easy, but not exciting. And I got a lot done. And here's also my needle minder, also from FanstitchTic in the UK, Spirited Away, which is where No Face is from. And if you have not seen the Miyazaki animation movies, I highly recommend them. They're varied in their themes and type of animation and everything like that. Spirited Away is one of my favorite ones, and although not my absolute favorite one, my absolute favorite one is probably Kiki's Delivery Service. So, anyways, that's where we are on No Face. Exciting. Right. Next are all the pieces that you're used to seeing, because I showed updates about this all the time. And so next up is Chinese Zodiac. It's the stitch along from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm going to insert a picture here of what it will look like. This is because it's a current SAL. It's the, I only have the picture of what it will be like at that stage. So this is what it's supposed to look like, and the progress I had made the last time that you saw it. And right here, And here is where we are. Oop. Let me fold that back so you can see the whole thing. Always so wrinkly. I took everything out of the Q-snaps, but, you know, I don't iron anything. I've gotten I'm caught up. I'm just straight up caught up. So since you saw it last, which I had just finished these 3 right here, I have now finished all the animals. I've also caught up on my flags and all of the flowers. The only thing I am missing, because of the way the Q-snap was on the frame, is the back stitching in this fan, which I will go ahead and do by hand, and which is silly, I should just do it, but you know, like when I pull it out and put it back into the Q-snap, I never like that. I am loving this. I still have not named all of them, but this one is Sir Ramekin, because I like a good pun, and you know, super cute, really happy with it. My brother was born in the year of monkey, just FYI. I was a dragon, born in the year of dragon. So I am doing this I purchased this as a full kit from Frosted Pumpkin, and so it's on Picture This Plus. It's on 28 casual linen. I'm doing it 2/2. It's Picture This Plus sand. Oh, I'm going to show you something. I have no idea what the heck happened. If you are doing this, Sal, you won't see this mistake, but I will let you know. This little flower here is supposed to be lined up with this flower, like right here. Like right up here. It's not. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why. I've counted everything. I'm not anal, like in the sense of like, I don't have like an OCD. We do cross stitch. There's a little bit of OCD-ness, alright? I may have a lot of OCD in me. But like, there's a part of me that's just kind of like, who cares, right? Like, no one's going to know. It looks fine. But I was kind of curious because I was worried that the mess up would mess up other things. It's counted. So I was like thinking that I must have messed up somewhere, and I'm really worried that where I messed up would impact other things. I've done all the counting I can think of. I've counted where the snake is in relation to the circle around. I've counted it from the dragon. I've counted it from the flowers. I have no idea why this is off. It doesn't match the pattern. I don't know why it's off. It's off by 1. I've double checked the medallion multiple times to figure out what's going on. I still don't know if, I still think there's something wrong with the medallion. It's the only thing I can think of. Like, maybe I'm off a stitch. But the medallion's fine. I don't know. Eagle Eye people, do you see it? I don't know. I literally redid this when, y'all remember a few videos ago, I talked about frogging this and fixing it. Like, I frogged all of those loops and recounted them and redid them. So I think they're fine. But yet, it's off by 1. Again, I'm not sure I care, because who's going to know? I'm the only one who knows. Well, now you know. But, anyways. That's what happens when you normally do full coverage. You can catch these mistakes a little easier. Alright. Next is the one that you see every single time, and you think it's ever, like, I do feel like I make a lot of progress on it, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those, you know, you feel like you're not making any progress because it's so giant. This is Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream. I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture here of what it will look like when it's done, followed by a picture of what the progress was the last time you saw it. I'm going to let you know that I'm not 100% sure this is the last time you saw it. I don't remember when the picture was. So, anyways. But this is one of the last progresses you saw. Boop. Alright. You ready? Here we are. Ta-da! Sorry, I don't. So, this is the progress. I finished the page, which was the goal for July. I wasn't quite there at the end of July, and so I did finish it. I did finish the whole page in August, and so you start seeing it goes over. I don't do hard stops when I have just a little bit of thread at the end, so I do go on to the next page and I carry it over just a little bit. When people talk about seeing columns when they do just by pages, I don't really see those as much, and I'm guessing it's because I do these handful of like carryover stitches. So just a trick. I never see the lines of the pages, but it's because I think I do. It's not a lot, it's just a handful, but I think it's enough to create the illusion that you don't have a break. I'm going down, I'm going to the bottom, and so now I'm doing, so this is where we are. This right here, this section right here is a wall of French knots. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw a close-up of him. I am not good at French knots. I'm just not. I don't like them. I'm bad at them. You'll see when you look at the close-up. They're all different sizes. There's no consistency to them. I wish I didn't have to do them. And there's a part of me that wishes they had just made these as cross stitches. But that being said, you don't get the dynamic look of like a bushel of flowers there. So to be fair, I understand the design decision for it. I just hate doing them. So did all the back stitching in the castle. From a distance, I feel like you can't really tell, but I think the horses pulling the pumpkin is one of the dumbest cross stitching designs ever, because they're not continuous in any way. Like they don't connect, and I looked at it, and I looked at the picture, and it is that way. But I feel like you can't tell that they're horses. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe from a distance. And when you're seeing it from a distance, you're like, yeah, no, that's a horse. You're fine. But like up close, I feel like it looks stupid. Some of this back stitching in this pattern is like half a I thread. It's on 18 count AIDA. It's a kit from MCG Textiles. It is out of print. But I think you can probably find it on eBay or something like that. And it's with the included floss. And I don't know what the brand is of the floss. But like some of these back stitches are like, let's do half a back stitch, you know, in an 18 count, which is annoying. And sometimes you're like, I can't even see, like I literally cannot see it. So, I don't love it. I don't love the back stitching on it. But that being said, when I was done, you see the castle in a big outline. So obviously it needs to be done. I'm not saying you don't need to do it. I just find it a little difficult, a little frustrating. And it does make me not want to come back to it. So I did decide to go ahead and do the back stitching on all of the French knots as I went, just simply because I think it would be very difficult for me to come back. If it takes me another year to finish this, I think I will find it difficult to come back and find the spaces where the knots are supposed to go, where the, you know, because when you're stitching it, you get to know the symbols really well and the colors really well and stuff like that. So anyways, I'm super excited about it. I think it looks really good. I'm still going to try to shoot for a goal to finish this by the end of the year. Not finish the whole thing, but to finish the 2 pages by the end of the year, with the 2 pages for next year as a goal. So we're going to see if that happens. But I'm really super happy with it. If you are working on an MCG Textile, so these are the Disney Dreams kits that came out a few years ago. Cocohamas Stitchery, link below. She and, ooh, I'm so sorry, I can't remember the other person. But they kind of decided to start their own little hashtag for Sal, for if you're working on one of these things. And now Cocohamas, which is Rocio, if you watch her channel. If you're not watching her channel, watch her. She's fun. I really enjoy her. She also does a coffee chat that is really cute and enjoyable. And her dog, Gazpacho. I mean, I got really cute dogs. You'll see him one day. But it's Gazpacho, man, he's a star. But but they have their own. We have a hashtag. I guess not we, but they have a hashtag, which is once upon a TK stitch, which hopefully if I did my editing right, you'll see at the bottom here. So once upon a TK stitch, if you are currently working on an MCG Textile Disney Dreams, please use the hashtag on Instagram and wherever one uses hashtags, I guess. I only use it on Instagram and here. And so that we can see what you're doing. I do think it's so, I love seeing what everyone is doing. Another person who's also working on Disney Dreams one is FanstitchTic, and she has a Flosstube, and I'll link her below too. She hasn't worked on it in a while, but she's doing The Little Mermaid. And I think Rika is going to be doing one as well, or at least Cocohamas is trying to convince her to do it, because it's fun. It's fun to do things. Of course, I sit there and after I've just told you to go ahead and do it. If you got one, please start and work on it after I just complained about the back stitching and the French knots. But they're beautiful though, right? They're beautiful patterns, and you want them to be done. So join the fun. There is camaraderie and shared experiences. Last but not least, wow, 45 minutes. This is a really long video, and I don't even have a giant WIP parade that, that warrants this. That's what happens when I talk too much. Last but not least, Emily's House by Lindy Stitches. This is my favorite. This is my focus piece right now, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture of what it looks like when it'll be done and where I was the last time you saw it, right here. And y'all, what? This was my focus piece. Look at how much I got done. I finished the house. I really, because of my motivation behind this, which is for the work that I do, I'm in legal aid, but also I started this on Juneteenth. Although this is not really, there's no diversity in here. For me, this is my project that I started for the purposes of the diversity SAL, the representation SAL, because I do think that as a society, as a people, we must speak for those whose voices are being drowned out, who aren't being heard. And also we have a duty as a society to help elevate the voices of people who are speaking, but who are being drowned out, who are being told to be quiet. And so this comes from a space of making sure that a functioning society helps, right? You're only as strong as your weakest. So anyway, so this was the project. So I wanted to make sure that as the motifs got done, I wanted the Scales of Justice to be the first one. I'm going to rename this when I finally finish it and I put my label on it and everything like that. I'm going to rename this the Doorway to Justice, because to me this looks like a small town Texas courthouse. And because of what I'm trying to do with my work, that I feel, and this is going to hang in my office when we go back to the office. So I'm really super happy with it. And so I finished the house, did my Scales of Justice, did the two crows, crows? I don't know. And then one of the cats. So I'm super excited about this. This will continue to be my focus piece. My goal is to have this done by the last week of October. Why, you're going to ask? I'm happy to tell you. Last week of October, the last full week of October, is Celebrate Pro Bono Week by the American Bar Association, and it's to basically celebrate all of the attorneys who are in private practice, who volunteer their time, dedicate their time to serving individuals who are low income, who are unable to afford legal services, and provide necessary legal services. And if you watch my videos before, you will know that my job is basically, I am a pro bono matchmaker. I engage with volunteers, and I work with them to help them and support them to take these cases, so that way they can, the need is so great. There's so many people who can't afford these vital legal services, and so we can't meet that need without these amazing volunteers who volunteer their time, give their time for free, to help and provide these services to people. So anyways, because of the sentiment behind Emily's House and because of the work that I do, that's my goal, is to have that done. So we'll see how it goes. I always work on when I was working on the house, my thought was I could 3 threads done every night, and I think that was what really made the difference. And now I'm working on a motif a night. I don't know if that's going to get me through October, but I think it will. Just so that you know, I'm doing this on 36 count linen, picture this plus earthen. I'm stitching it 1/2. The Lindy Stitches, Stephanie of Lindy Stitches, just updated all of her PDFs so that way they're pattern keeper friendly. I did not get an updated one. Emily's house actually converted into pattern keeper pretty well. Not 100%, like the overlaps, or did not quite, like there's still an overlap. So take this stitch count with a grain of salt because of the overlap of the house. But according to Pattern Keeper, I stitched 5,642 stitches, which is a lot, in August only. So I'm excited about it. I love it. I actually love it as a project. So looking forward to that. Anyways, that's it of all of my progress. And so thanks for sticking with me through all of that. I hope that you found that enjoyable. I am going to try to do these videos in the first and third weekend of the month, and hopefully they will end up being a little shorter. I go back and forth. I don't mind a long video, but at the same time, I think an hour is probably where I'm like, but sometimes I see some people are great, like they're really dynamic, and I really like listening to them. And I don't mind. There's also some people out there who do these great 15, 20-minute videos, and I think that's fantastic, but then I want more from them. Plans. Super fast on my plans. I really don't have that much. The other things that are happening in September is apparently it's Sal September, or September Sal. I don't know. There's a lot of Sals going on. So my plans for September are pretty straightforward. Emily's house will continue to be my focus piece. I'm going to continue to work on a motif an evening, or motif a day is what my goal is to do. When I hit the border, it'll probably be like a portion of a border every day. The next segment of Chinese Zodiac will be coming out about 10 days, a little less, I think on the 15th. So I'll work on that as part of a SAL. I also purchased the Hello Dear Stitch Along from Caterpillar cross stitch. So this will start on September 28th. So I will start this, and I'm going to try my best to keep it on time with the stitch along. And well, because I bought the kit, gotta have the match. So I went ahead and also got Hello Pumpkin. So I'm also going to start Hello Pumpkin. And I don't know what my plans are for this. I will plan on starting it. I think my thought process was that as I get each things for Hello Dear, that I'm going to work on a motif in Hello Pumpkin. Now, if I do that, that's going to take forever because there's a lot of little small things. So I might just like block them together. Like I might do, like on a weekend, I may do the fox and whatever. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I actually start it. So I do have the kits. I obviously plan on buying the other 2 seasons when they come out. Because I knew I was going to be doing Hello Dear. I was like, well, I'm going to want them to match. So those 2, I will continue on Cinderella as I see fit. I don't, that I have to be in a mood for. So I'm going to do that. And then last but not least, I'm waiting for some deliveries to be able to do this. I have a finished object from many years ago. This is my finished object from many years ago. Not many years ago. I think I did this. Oh, maybe 8 years ago. So this is Mary Engelbreit's Trick or Treat. I finished this a while ago, and it's just literally been sitting on a shelf waiting for me to do the next part because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. It's done. This can be framed as is. I love Mary Engelbreit. I nerd out on her too. I have a lot of her office supplies. But when you look at the design, which I got from Mary Engelbreit's Cross Stitch for All Seasons book, I think you can still buy the book, but I think it's out of print, so it's expensive. Like, I think when I saw it on Amazon, when I was trying to see if you could still buy it, it was like $40, but it was $30 when it went on sale. so I don't know. But it actually is, if you look at the pattern, a sampler. They call it a sampler, trick-or-treat sampler. And there is this border around it that's on black AIDA. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to do it. Like, for years, I was like, I don't know if I want to do it, blah, blah, blah. I've decided to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this part so that way it looks completely the way has designed by Mary Engelbreit. And so I'm waiting for an order from 123 Stitch that has the black AIDA and all of the floss to go with it. So when that gets in, I'm going to start that. The goal is to finish that. Looks like it'll be a pretty fast stitch. To have that done, probably not fully finished, but to have it finished for Halloween or by Halloween, so that way I can get it in to get fully finished. I do all my framing at Michael's. We used to do it at Aaron Brothers, but they shut down, which is really part of Michael's, so they just moved to Michael's. Anyways, last few minutes, I'm going to talk about my review of the Black Needle Society's retreat preview. I did not do many of the chat rooms. In fact, I only went into it once. I don't know why. I just didn't think to do it. I just honestly forgot that they were there. But everything else was super fun. These ladies are fantastic fun. So much work went into it, and you could see the dedication of that. They definitely weren't eating. Like, they must have been staying up late because we had people participating from Australia and other parts of the country. I know from Australia for sure because I met some people who were from Australia. And so it was fantastic. I would say it was really a lot of fun. So they did stitching challenges where you got entries into a grand prize drawing. They did stash dives, which for me was not that exciting because I don't have that much of a stash, but I did participate and I did have fun, and I was surprised at how much I did own. And so, and where you basically went through all your stash and trying to find things. Of course, you went entries into a grand prize, and they did digital dives, which you did that as part of a team. And so my team was awesome. I don't know what our standings were. We didn't win, but I think, it was so much fun, and it's so enabling. You just want to buy all the things afterwards because you see what all the stuff that's out there that exists. There was a category for needle minders, for Halloween themed needle minders. I wanted them all of them. And so I had already, before this weekend even happened, had purchased their Jane Austen box that will be coming in January, I think. I think it's too late to purchase that box. I think there was only one more day, and I think it was yesterday. But go take a look at them. I'll put the link down below, for both the Facebook group, which will continue after this weekend, and as well as their website. So that way you can go see what boxes that they have, and their Instagram. I'll put all that in the links below. But it was a lot of fun. And, I've done quilting retreats, but I've done quilting retreats with my friends. Like, these are people I know, and I've gone and I've done. So this is the first time I've ever done anything where I was working with people or doing something with people I don't know. And I'm an introvert. I don't make friends. That sounds terrible. I have friends. I do have friends. But, I don't put myself out there, which is probably why, I didn't, go put myself in the rooms and things like that. But, I still felt very engaged. I felt like, even though when I was commenting and stuff like that, that people were seeing me and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. I'm not saying no, that I'll never do another retreat. I'm definitely going to do whatever they have planned for Jane Austen. And, I'm open to it. That's what I'm saying. I'm open to a retreat after doing it. And I'm not sure if I'm open to just any retreat. I'm open to a Black Needle Society retreat. Because that's how fun it was. So take a look. Check them out. And that's it. Wow. It's an hour-long video. That's it. I don't have anything else to share. I'm not going to share any hauls. I will share hauls. I'm going to let y'all know. As much as hauls enable me, and I don't mind watching them in people's floss tubes, they're not the funnest part for me. For me, they're not that fun. I buy to the projects and things like that. So I'm just going to show you my hauls as I use them. That's kind of basically how my thought process is going to be. If anyone really likes having a haul segment from me, let me know. But, you know, again, I don't belong to fabric clubs. I don't belong to anything like that. So it's kind of like I get them, I start working on them, I finish them, and I'll show you. So anyways, thanks so much, y'all. I hope y'all are having a really great time and doing okay. Wear your mask if you must go out. If you must go out, wear your mask and keep your social distance. Be kind to all those workers out there. You know that most of the people that you are seeing are not the decision makers for their organizations. Even managers, even the managers in the stores are not necessarily the decision makers for their policies and things like that. They're just doing what they're asked to do. And, you know, be kind to them. They're working hard for you. They are. It may not feel like it, but they are. And thank them for their time. Because it's Labor Day. And it's a good time to remember these people, you know, these essential workers out there. Not just, you know, not just the healthcare workers, our garbage men, our fast food restaurants, our grocery store workers, our janitors, our, you know, all those people out there doing that work. So with that, happy Labor Day. Thank you for everyone who is out there working hard for us. Do appreciate you. And hopefully you are continuing on and have a great stitching good time. Till next time. Take care. Bye, everyone.